Peace weavers, angels who extinguish male violence. We have been weaving for more than 12,000 years. Before we created textiles, we wove branches, twigs, and other fibers together to build shelters and to create baskets. This is a common thread running through the human story around the world. Every culture weaves. The material that results has become clothing, sails, tents, carpets, bed sheets, bandages, bags, towels, tapestries. Works that make stories happen and that tell stories. All of these items denote wealth and make possible every other human endeavor. Weaving has also long been the subject of poetry. In the epic poem The Odyssey, Odysseus' wife, Penelope, demonstrates control over time and place by weaving and unweaving her father-in-law, Laertes' shroud. She undertakes this weaving project to pass the time while her husband is away for 20 years on a business trip, and the kingdom is rotten with suitors looking to claim her and take her as their own, along with the wealth of the kingdom. She tells the men who are lounging around consuming her wine and cheese, she will choose one of them when she completes the shroud, which she unravels every night. The point is that she has no intention of taking a single one of them as her husband. She has a husband. She intends to never finish weaving a death garment for her father-in-law. On a symbolic level, by refusing to complete the shroud, she refuses to allow the kingdom to fall into unscrupulous hands. In this way, she keeps the peace by keeping the kingdom and controlling the narrative. She is a peace weaver. Peace weaver is a term that has the same meaning but a different connotation in a different context a few days later in the 6th century Scandinavia. At this point in our history, a peace weaver is a woman married into a rival clan to resolve a feud. The married-in woman is required to shift her loyalties by taking on the identity of her husband's clan and to bear her enemy's children. Talk about taking one for the team. The peace weaver is required to learn her husband's language and customs right down to the tiniest subtlety to perform acts of diplomacy in the interest of her children, as well as the family who turned her into a commodity and offered her as part of a peace treaty. All this to settle the slaughter feud. There is no news here. Women have been doing these things forever, sacrificing or compromising their interests, negotiating to achieve more and better for others, choosing silence over expression to keep the peace. This is heroism, though some might call it dinner with the in-laws. Or Connecticut Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro's promotion of women's health care issues in Washington for the past 30 years. Or Secretary of State Madeleine Albright's pressing for NATO's intervention during the humanitarian crisis in Kosovo in support of the Kyoto Protocol on climate change. Or former U.S. Poet Laureate Joy Harjo's showcasing of Native American poets during her tenure at the Library of Congress. Or Nicole Hockley's efforts to ban assault rifles. Call it European Union President Ursula von der Leyen's support of Ukraine's right to self-determination. Add to the list Sweden's Greta Thunberg and Southbury's Julia Bauer-Richardson, activists for a kinder, safer, and more equitable world. Add also Natalia Kischuk of Ukraine, a weaver who is true to the earth and true to her art, and true to peace for these reasons as she sings the songs of her home and weaves the music into her work. Hear the story. Peace weavers. Russian terror raining hard on Ukraine bled her people into foreign lands. So, would Putin's menace empty villages snug in the snow-fed Carpathians? The reporter asked. Natalia answered, "We are not leaving. Here we are weaving the wool of our sheep on mountains so steep no man stands a chance to stop with a glance life close to this land. No, this is our stand." Thus, Natalia Kischuk, with other Hutzel weavers, added her voice, sure in her choice, to side with earth and art, earth's beating heart. No fear or malice, just peace with what is. Brave Natalia and her weaving sisters, under mountains close to the sun, are one with the All-Mother, Frigga, Norse goddess of weaving clouds, mist, fog, into seeing. weaving events, magic, into being. With her Celtic sister spirit Brigid, goddess of poetry, midwifery, dying, weaving, divining, making and breathing life into livestock, the harvest, seeing, transforms earth into heart, speaks justice's part. The weaver's world tree claims eternity, travels Saul's spun sunbeams from the Baltics to Olympus, finds Athena among us, weaving justice and truth to assuage our ruth. Like the Hutzels, finding art is life's truth. Spider grandmother of the Hopi, bride of the sun, creator of human life, your Navajo spider sister teaches humans to love the earth and sun, enjoy earth's treasures, celebrate pleasures. Amaterasu, spinner and weaver of sunbeams, teach us to wake from dreams of peace and make them happen, give release to visions of cooperation, hope for the untried young, their song to be sung. Across time and space, the story's the same. World myths are our sisters and our mothers, who help us understand our brothers. Angel extinguishers of male violence, peace weavers shaping the story of hope, bearing the weight of our grief, that we might cope. Birth a new day wrapped in love's warm gift, weaving love's story and healing man's rift. Natalia's bravery, no form of slavery, but of life, at her loom, freedom's midwife.